Hello, welcome to the Sign Polyglot. Today's video is about Plains Indian Sign Language. So first, just so you know, the United States has many different language areas for Native American Sign Languages. And typically, all of these are called hand talk. So if you look at that entire area, there's kind of a corridor right down the middle over the Great Plains area. And that's the area that we're going to be focusing this video on today. Plains Indian Sign Language, PISL. So the Plain Indians are made up of many different tribes. I'll show the list over here, but there's about 30 tribes. And all of these tribes typically didn't stay in one place for their lifetimes. They would travel. They were nomadic. And they would travel around because they were looking for food, for buffalo to hunt, and that kind of thing. So they were always on the move searching for food. They didn't stay in one place, which meant that all of them would interact and meet up with each other intermittently. And all of them spoke individual different languages that were very different from each other, and they could not understand each other. So, for example, if two people met from different tribes and they couldn't understand each other, they would instantly switch over into a sign language. And that signing became PISL. So in the year 1930, a man named General Scott, he decided, wow, we really need to film this language before it dies out. So he set up a conference of sorts, a council of all the different Native American tribe chiefs. From far away over there, my brothers of different tribes have come. I've come to talk signs with my pagan friends. I'm glad to see my faraway brothers. I look at them, we eat and smoke, that is all. It's super cool. I remember 1 or 2 years ago when I first came across this video, I was fascinated. I was hooked. I would just watch the entire thing over and over and over. It was just super fascinating to see how they used their hands to speak with each other. So I'm so thankful that someone decided to film that. So PISL is used for many different reasons. For food trade, for bartering of clothes. It's also used for diplomacy. So meaning if they needed to sit down and make agreements as different tribes, for example, figuring out, okay, that's your area and this is my area. They also used it for storytelling. PISL was also used for quiet times. For example, hunting, right? You had to be quiet so you could communicate and show where to hunt. It was used for rituals, meaning religious, quiet worship times, really ceremonies. It was also used for warfare and figuring out how to coordinate a unified approach to fight. Is Plains Indian Sign Language a full, complex language? Well, back in the day, historians thought, no, that's just called a trade pidgin. It was just used for trade. It's not a full language. But it's been really cool to see that they're recognizing it was used for much more complex reasons, for many different things, not just trade. And some deaf Native Americans are now using PISL and ASL in a mix and developing really this beautiful full language. For example, this sign for Indigenous, I use this back of my hand, which is associated with land in North American Indian sign. It also means being native, and I'm native. So, and then I use this from ASL, and that means root or being rooted. So native roots means that it's meant to represent the people of the land. And it's so cool to see that develop. PISL really is a formal communication system. And a sign language system does not mean that it's simple or limited. PISL has about 4,000 signs. It's not just how or buffalo, like they portray in the movies. They have a lot of different signs. For example, one sign is this, and that can mean many different question words, which is kind of cool. Another sign in PISL is people, signed like this. This means understand. And this means yes, and this means no. And there's so many different signs that you can learn. So you can start learning yourself with the links that I've added in the description box below. There's resources where you can start learning. And you can watch these videos and start teaching yourself. Also, you can contact your local tribe and see if there's any elders there, someone who would be willing to teach you the sign. So maybe you're thinking, is PISL still used today? Yes, it is. Sadly, a lot of native signers have passed away, and that language almost became extinct, but thankfully, it's been able to be preserved. Many elders preserved that sign language, and now it's being taught to the younger generation so that they're able to communicate with each other. And deaf Native Americans specifically are preserving and cherishing that language. Now, you already know that ASL has its own culture and community, its heritage and history. That all makes up ASL, right? It's not just one sign after another. It's not just gestures. No. It's a culmination of all these things that makes it so that it has deep meaning for the deaf community. It's the same thing with Plains Indian Sign Language. There is a deep heritage behind that language. It means it's very cool to see that Native American tribes are trying to preserve this language to pass on to future generations. Thank you for watching today. If you enjoyed this video, do you mind commenting below? Let me know what you learned, what specifically you enjoyed from this video. What did you learn that was completely new? And also remember to watch my other video that I recently posted. It's about harem sign language. And that's super fascinating. Thank you so much.